for today's live stream. And as you guys know that we recently got a lot of new regulations, and so that the environment become better, and the um, the real study time that was not very increased as we expected from, but recently determining that directly do the things which is matters, and so that, for example, to some experience to just fulfill each task. Also, when it's still not yet, and so if this kind of like do it, um, um, similar to, um, 然后也就是说，如果是我们 towards the degree MSc 的话，我们 kind of don't listen to music, and in order to save every time with MSc in degree and instead of other medium, for example. And for example, if you want to pursue the MSc degree, and before you achieve that degree and you listen to many music, and music is UI MSc, and so that you consume your future self too much, and that's why it's not very beneficial. So for gain in the future, and we kind of now yeah, we kind of now set a discipline, and etc. We now have the new rules in my study live stream, and several things to pay attention to, and I hope you guys informed. And in my newest video of my another video platform, and so I still have a lot of to add on, and it's still not yet really somehow accomplished, and there are rules like how to work in a way like right side, left side, and which food is first and which is later, and you're gonna put the cup in the right side, left side, and or you when you open the Blackboard, what you're gonna pay more attention to, like first open a calendar and then a course, and instead of vice versa. And you, if you want to really fulfill the requirements from the campus management, and how you do first from the calendar hack, small hack, and into the course content, and then to the course number, and jump into different chapters, and then to fall and stop, and then left another half to the gradient side, etc. And after finish the course, and how you just print it and to record it in the paper form, and then how you do the things, for example, like if you click the right side arrow, and then they will have 3 to 4 lists and lines, and how you do that, and how you set your paragraph, and how you design it all, and etc. So fine, we're gonna jump into the study content, and today we haven't ordered the food from the Lieferando because today I really don't got very hungry, so that I feel like I can continue study for a while. And one people friend are coming, and that is a hack. Yes, yeah. So let's go. Zum Glück that is the study live stream instead of others, so it is kind of great because we don't need to pay much more attention to the outlook. And we use a little bit filter in the another platform, which shows the face. I feel like extremely happy today, and OD I feel like my hair is still kind of very well, but my current self, like my reality, cannot feel that intensively. But whatsoever, I hope that I'm gonna have the good grades and results. So okay, 我们现在 finally into the study content. Yeah, okay. When we when we study, and when we have the right exam, and we're gonna go back to that tissue, that is black tissue, and this is for oral exam because that is on that side for professor and that side for me, and that backside black tissue that is correct for the exam. So yeah, let's kind of go, and I'm gonna picture these 3 pages and my new rules in my community. But before everything, we're gonna first start studying. We have Okay, we talk that easy in Chinese, and 我们现在有一些新的那个规定，比如说是在 campus management 里面，也就是学校的那个基点管理系统里面，然后呢，它有这个 still yet finished， 就是还没有完成的，然后它是那种浅橙色的，然后完成的话它是那种浅绿色的，然后现在的话。在我还不知道就是怎么样和这个 professor team 他们去做 interchange 的时候，你先做学生的部分，然后学生的部分的话，你先不要买自己的 green， 然后因为就算你 accomplish the courses， 先买橙色的，所以我现在杯子就是浅橙色的。Okay, fine. So 我们就 let's go. 怎么会这样？我的天呐，OK fine。 哇，我的天呐！天呐，太恐怖了！我的天呐 Okay, guys, we're gonna talk about that. And so we first active trade in the label text because I have several cryptocurrencies, and this is the story about Copeland's problem. And why we call that Copeland's problem, actually I captured it in a few years ago, and which in that time point things are functioning in this way, like in our campus management system, that they have the 6 and 6, right? So while the beginning of the semester that you choose the courses and you choose the 6 credit points, and finally this Ausgewählt 6 credit points gonna cope with the final exams content, and then to the professor side, and the professor gonna cope the other 6 credit points. So if it is both Erwartung, so expectation from a student side at the beginning of the semester and aligning with the 6 credit points which from the professor side she or he gonna give, that means that 6 is equal to 6, and then this kind of equation gonna functioning, and so that from my point of view, that is 6 cope 6, and then if it is equal, that is green, right? It is like if students ausgegebene energy and effort less than the 6 credit points, which from the expectation that professors or the professors' reflection to students and to see whether they promised at beginning of the semester, they promised like to achieve this 6 credit points. For example, they're gonna all handwriting the notes, or they gonna print it all the PowerPoints. And they, how the understanding of the whole semester gonna the content gonna cope as their beginning semester's promises. And if it is like equal, then is pass, right? So if it is not equal, like a function, and then is red, right? So so like kind of like a functioning mechanism. And so from my point of view, and I understood that in 2018, my notes like writing Africa, and in that time to um, every month and give money to them, like not very much. And so in this sense, some classmates and first know that, and they have the couplings mechanism, and it is to say, and while the register course that 6 license point credit points has been registered by me, classmates, other students, other classmates, other one from the student side. And whether this at the end semester and they're gonna equal to the professor's expectations, and the professor will not expect that someone like me and suddenly have a German nationality, and they will not expect that. And but depending on different personal situations of each student, for example, and upon the maximized effort that you can put into this course, and to cope the promises which you made in the beginning of the semester, if 6 is equal to 6, I don't mean that number 6 is equal to number 6, because number 6 is always equal to the number 6. So you can just input that in the keyboard. You can write that in any language in a paper form, but it's always equal, right? If you write that. But the problem is that the formation of this 6 credit points, whether in the arid medium or whether in the dark sea radium, like how to format 6, this kind of number, was equalized into the final exam, like the end semesters, and the materials and which you put effort in, and etc. And whether that will cope the expectation from the teaching team and professor side, that is the problem. So if it is equal, then it's green. If it is unequal, and if it is less than, it's red. If it is super satisfy the expectation from their side, it's super green. It is super red. If it's less than, then it's like to ask them and do it again, and it's kind of negative energy field. And so from this point of view, and you're gonna know that. And so I just add the page about mechanism Professor Lee from the Harvard University, the eco department, and he wrote 3 years ago some articles about mechanism and and functionalities and so to say in China 机制. And that is to say the functioning way about one certain thing. And I was currently in the third point, and I allowing only use the flower clamor because the reason is that flower clamor, the 花括号, never shows in the final official documents when you, for example, like graduate and etc. And if you not pre-use this kind of energy gonna coming forward in several months or also, and the energy will not repeat it that frequently, and so that you're gonna kind of storage a little bit of energy and to backwards and to save more instead of pre-use the things which you still not yet have, right? So yeah, from this point of view, we have here the problem about in internalized values. We got the character n wrong because n is neuro in neo neo in the cryptocurrency, and currently this character n was linked with Alex Maklov, who was my Russian neighbor. We cooperated well, and so that this context is about cooperation, but I haven't thought that this context is really about cooperation with Russian neighbor. We always cooperated to gain the formal thing, like for their study and for his jobs and for his work and for his study previous years as well, but he now already graduated, so it doesn't affect it. And also we don't talk about some personal emotional linkage because my name, full name, and his full name are the examination office Mitarbeiter and Mitarbeiterin and etc. So that kind of work in the field which is do the things relevant only for our like his career and my study and his study and the other form of thing. And we cooperated to not earn a value about some relationship or some love story, and those are not. And so yeah. So we cooperated well in this state, and that is internalized values. It's not international value, and it is 内化, so to say. And I don't know why, because the dangang, this kind of sports in the playground, that I don't know why in internalized like 内化 will link to the playground and the playground 内化, because that in my hometown and N is H, and so that is the near hotel in the near area of the Great Centrum is the Half Library. And so recently, once we got the done of the moving thing, we can finally go to the university library to study, because that is more efficient. The environment is more clean. And so yeah, let's just continue. So we're gonna write that like internalize the values in 内化. And one thing I haven't got the answer yet, because I also other classmates and could hardly to set other half, for example, other half 6 boxes empty and let them left over to the teaching side, teaching team, and so teaching and grading team. And so I was thinking this, we were to just purchase their energy, and in the sense that to make some exchange mechanism, and that let my dusted energy and change to their blue, dark blue and luxury energy, for example, Tiki professor. And to find this kind of trick and the exchange mechanism and to do this kind of interchange and to let the study process more smoothly and more useful and more meaningful. And so that is a problem, but I need think of I don't think that's easy. And so you can think the way how to try to first you can think in an easy way, like you first buy their energy, like dark blue energy field, and buy those who already graduated, for example, like buy the Samsung phone or buy the the triple dark blue products. And but you how internalize this kind of products value and into your dusted energy, and how like this kind of blue, dark blue, luxury and high energy into internalized in your value. And that's a huge problem. Like for my value, like a dusted gray dust energy, like the docent uh, connote. And once we got a docent, his name is Gernot Müller. Yeah, Gernot Müller docent. And in which kind of speed that you accelerating your energy field in the great acid energy, and to internalize the value about them and purchase their value, because you haven't have that yet, had that yet. And so for example, like docent Gernot Müller, and he once transferred the Nachhaltigkeitsforschung and to the 10 Leistungspunkt. And so this time I was also think, yeah, we're gonna think the inner exchange mechanism to exchange this kind of energy into us all, and instead of just running in a gray dusty energy field, actually cannot generate fruit. And the reason is that they, for example, like light orange color field and the light gray dust, they all have not graduated yet. And so if you interchange with them, and you can only enlarge your students field, and you cannot actually so that's all the problems. And now we fast to see some through market transactions, so market change, and they are to realize that. So we check fast about the the natural communication today, and to say what happened. And before everything started, we first go the Juliuson's website, and to say whether it is real that he will live the leave the UC high, and that's really sad. I feel like stable, and when he stay at UC high, but if it is a personal choice, I guess. But yeah, but also you can think in a way like this university does not exist, and all he is just affiliated like the Julia Cope professor, and just like linked with some universities, and he really not directly go there, but meanwhile, and he can manage some like thesis stuff, and etc. And that's also potential actually. And so yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, but his website already. 我的天！你对这种事情真的是挺无能为力的那种感觉。刚才呢，我看到一篇文章是，我刚才看到一篇文章，它可能是今天发的，但是肯定是今天的新的article。但是呢，新的文章，但是有一点搞笑的是，它的这个是 light-driven lattice support microrobot with multimodal locomotion。然后呢，结果呢是研究床垫的，而且床垫里面有什么样的一个石道服，为什么睡起来那么安静？然后这种事情，我在想，哎，我心里面我就发送到我这个 before last 这个 meter，然后它的这个 family，然后就不停的在想这个 matratz 的这个问题。咱不是已经搬出来1年多了嘛，就从他们家，然后，而且用的还是 George Blue Color，我真的是。So，我今天应该买那个就是 Compot，然后没有买 Compot，我买了 Cryptocurrency 里面的 Flow，因为我在这个情况下我只能买 Flow，但是后来我看 Flow 非常的 plain，就是没有什么 performance，因为就买的时候没什么用，我感觉。 Okay, 我们又 found some new tricks or rules or discoveries that in the campus management as to this article that is from professor side that they the action are reversed as students. So let's talk easily about the boxes and the characters and the numbers in the campus management when you take an example in one course. For example, we take example as finance and investigation, and that course before you finish and you from the student side and from link side you begin, and the professor side is from right side they begin, and from the right side and after, for example, this course is for example is 考作, and then they need yeah. So if it is seminar, yeah, okay. So if it is clausal, so you still need save this kind of clausal somewhere else, but I don't know where. Also, whether it is in the same system or in another system, I don't know. But at the very end, like you first print, and you check what is the process by the study and the students going on. And finally, you're gonna hack, and if it is accomplished and in your perspective, then you hack at the right side, and means that the student has accomplished this course. But on the other side, from students' point of view, and you first need hack, and at the very beginning of the semester, you hack yourself at the very beginning, and then with the calendar and the hack symbol was on the right side corner, and then you start from the starting point and go through the all contents, and you just register the number and you go through the content of each courses. They have different chapters, and every chapter is the PowerPoint gonna upload it in the Blackboard, and so to say that what you can learn is learn characters, right? So you never learn numbers. You learn numbers. If you are eco and counting students, you also learn numbers. So you just combine those together, like numbers and characters, and the first characters and the numbers, whatever disorder as well, okay, because you can drag them. And then afterwards, in the exam that you perform what you learned from the characters and numbers. And then at the final stage, and the students check from the right side, they should first print the exam before 1 month or 2 months, who knows, like they should first print. But from the student point of view, that the print is at very end when you accomplish the course, you got the 某读百山理工, and 某读百山理工 listed your grades, your participation, and your description of this course, and the semesters and your name and that date and etc. So that means the proof of you already finished this course, and this is a PDF that high, and the professor said that they first print, because they're gonna first print the exams, for example, and they print and reverse the steps as students, and let kind of drag the Z and the student from left side and the professor from right side. And then finally, they encounter in some stages and to see whether it is that equivalent the content which they give to students and the student feedback to them. And so you're gonna see that and print it and the characters, then the numbers, and then the characters, and to say that, yeah, okay, so they're gonna say they go grading, and this AI. Okay, they can also from left side to see the characters, the content of the lectures, and then to grading at very end. But they can do this kind of way, like professor is under Zoom, and students from left side. But professor can do both, right? They can also from the they cannot. They cannot. They cannot first give a hug and see the clausel, right? They should first see print and the answers which provided by students, and they should first see how the student do. And then final stage is that hug, but the student first hug and then go through the process, like learn characters, learn the content of the courses. They can never like professor side, they can never first give hug and then to see the content. Then that is unfair, right? So from my point of view, at least that is a small difference and should tell you guys. And but I'm not sure from my point of view and whether is only hacks makes difference or what you guys think about like the characters and the numbers and course numbers and characters if we don't change the order, and that is course number and course name, and finally the opportunities, and then the notes, and then the PDF. If it is accomplished, then it's green. And the professor side is first to see the print exam, and then to see the students' performance and grading. It also first the 6 lessons, both grading and the 6 credit points, and then come to the stage of course content, for example. And they don't need to see the course content. If it goes to the Einsicht, and you should see the content, and the course number is sowieso. And then final stage is that hack, right? So it's kind of different, and the professor's system is more complicated, and there once you from the student point of view, and you hack first on the right side corner, and after you accomplish it, that become a little green square, small green square, and then that means accomplished. So for me, from my side, I just that's a point to be mentioned. And so we continue, because currently I'm reading this kind of article, that this article is with the German flag color. That is, they don't make that traditionally like in Bundesstatistische Amt graphic. Instead of, they made that like flagly, smoothly lighted energy, dusted energy field. And so in the figure 7, and they say distribution of key conditions impacts on peak transmission value real time. So I do the study live stream real time and not like speeding up and etc. So the conditions impacts the using the S strich instead of strich S, and make depths and saturation effects. I don't know saturation. I need to search for it, but I don't if I don't have time, I don't need to. Then, and the depth is the fancy in my another platform, another Chinese study live streams platform, BL241, and you guys can also check that. And so that this is market depth and core, and with ace color, and so several bubble teeth tapioca bubble, right? And then some Bundesstatistische Amts blau color, and then goes to several mark pen and etc. and decentralized like Germany's current currency. Like I never buy both myself, so I never buy the decentralized land, like decentralized land as currency. And in methodology, they are going to foundation and market price signals. And when you go through the street and you pay the Hongden and etc. In the Tierplatz, the university station, and then you have the dynamic effect with 3 points with round clamor instead of flower clamor. A link's empirical marginal market value can be treated as a mirror of. Yeah. So I guess the inequality in eco department next semester going to be a little bit female. The inequality and mirrorment in etc. The Post Institute does also have this one, inequality and the JFK as well, I guess. So the even Chinese study faculty, Geschichtskultur faculty as well. So no culture, real scary, really scary. Yeah, fine. That's a great article and with several true content and with the Tiffany color, and that's amazing. So yeah, shouldn't touch that. AD shop that Lan I really don't need to, but if I buy that, I buy myself like in wood, and I don't want. So that's why. But that color is really good. Looks great. Okay, so we can currently find another study stream that's in same platform, and he is Daryl, and Daryl means pork, and so let's see where he opened study stream today. And he is in our place, and I guess for some yeah. Yeah, he has not yet opened. So, but let's see the talk show. No, yeah. Similar voice is casting whether 哎天呐，我都忘了拆了，我的天呐，我真是我刚说的话我都忘记。So，最好在视频里面，反正就是不要用那个什么，就是不要用剪刀，然后对着那个镜头剪。所以，哦，我的天呐，这个上面竟然有一个wrong，it's very wrong。然后这个上面有一个什么斜杠，天呐，这个也是，这个好像他们新放过，我不知道。哦，对了，我想一下这个问题，我有点变转过弯，转过思想。等一下，我有点转过神经。 哦天呐，我心里面感觉好难受，我天呐，不知道什么情况。Let me search。就感觉好像就感觉好，都感觉都很悲伤，我感觉。 太搞笑了。赵 K， 我的天呐。So, OK，我想继续 continue，然后但是我 got a lot of wrong information. My LinkedIn search website was blocked, and because of Wanzhou, and this is the nickname which I named for a recent about United States updater in build platform, and the reason is that the reason is that I don't know why he blocked my LinkedIn, and so to be honest, that the first apartment they does have the apartment company, they have the rights to somehow access my MacBook and to embed it some servers in the etc into it and directly block the potential thinking pattern, and that is really serious. And so it means I could, for example, like booking the Ausflugstermin, but they have several tools and to hinder you to come to the student apartment. It is not because that physically that they are hinder you by some physical obstacles, but they are using the kind of like mind control and to access your devices like handy and MacBook, iPad mini and iPad Pro and etc. those kind of devices. And you have the thinking pattern and the source to go through this kind of planning time period, but you haven't have that ability to achieve even that physically in the apartment. The reason is that this students apartment company that they got the control over you, and you are very unfree, and so living there is kind of it is like the electricity band within the carbon, and your conscious is kind of like this kind of mind flow and throwing this kind of cables in the etc. But they are as the hinder force. They are just cutting through and exactly in at the point like when you need to achieve something, and they just cut it and hinder the energy flow and back to them, or they eat your energy flow within this kind of carbon. So it's not possible if, for example, like my conscious is that if you hinder this kind of mind flow and the reality won't happen. And my philosophy is that if you want to realize something in your reality, at least you need first think of it. You cannot directly first behave it in order to later think in some later time point. So later one. So it means yeah. So it means I currently tomorrow cannot go to that appointment. It's not because of me did something wrong. I don't did anything wrong, but they are hindering you to go to there and using the mind control and using the kind of hindering the mind flow and set obstacles and etc. And you cannot access that in the apartment. And how can you clean it? How can you organize them? And how can you bring the things to the new accommodation? This kind of environment is also a little bit get mine because they took away my plastic boxes 3. But the problem is that they at least has not hinder you, give you free conscious like that, let you think and etc. But so to be honest, I really don't know how can I just tomorrow directly give back the key and the apartment because I still got the things there, and no, the company, the student apartment company, they know that I kind of also cooperated with the, for example, Jiaqiu's team, and so that I'm not cooperated with them, but like working together and in some common conscious field, and so it is, yeah, it is insane. I cannot give that because my things is still in the apartment, and so yeah, and they are showing to this kind of like provers, and they can block my system, and so that also the conscious flow. And if it is talking to the mind properties, and how you think this problem, like your mind property is actually private, and they got access to your computer, and like this, and directly taking your mind flows free away from you, and how you think that problem, and your conscious is not free, and because you generate those kind of smoothly academic writing language and for a long time, it's not just like beginning this semester or within 2-3 years. It's not. And so I will not directly tell you how that I developed this kind of conscious in the mind. I since years follow the professor for a long time, and yeah. So I don't want to really tell you and how that be achieved, because while you achieve it, that you haven't thinking. So if you, for example, like don't give a 10 to 15 point in the essay, and finally you reverse back, you even don't know how you generate that. You want me become as you, like playing normal and good and like non-confident, unconfident, and but I cannot. I just cannot. I trained for so long, and I don't supposed to be that type in my study and working field. So I cannot be that one. And you want maybe to normal and playing a game, but I cannot. I trained for so many years, and not just like 2 to 3 years in one semester. That hard believe that. And so yeah, what do you guys think? And I don't want to explain, but they block the LinkedIn. So we continue study and study the content. It's kind of like PowerPoint is still open, and so kind of now still need to write them down and like in handwriting style and etc. But they are afraid that their mind property be taken away. For example, Professor Kanu, and you just see it, you don't, yeah, but also ever. And after finishing exam, we could potentially promise that we're gonna PDF them or digitalize them and to throw that away and forget about that. All this kind of commitment that could be. But yeah, okay, let's just write them down, so to say. Yeah. And I don't spread them, and don't just for the examination purpose, and for self-use the content, and not telling the other one or show the other one and not making to some commercialized purpose. That will be fine. And for educational sense and to for study for the exam is quite okay, I guess. And so otherwise, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I had to think of if I become that one, like word by word, and cannot just like 挤牙膏挤出 one essay. I hardly believe that time period, and it won't happen again in my life. But if I convert now, recombined, combined with the bachelor's classmates and the students and everyone, I haven't know them, and I don't have the necessary to know them, and they not supposed to be lower than my aggregated level in study, but to be honest, I really don't want to be them, and I really don't think that I trained for so many years and so long, and I need wipe out my memory and wipe out my writing ability and back to the state and ask them as write an essay like feel like devastating and so many dark field characters and link with the internet box password. The internet is important, but it's not all things, and so and then feel like devastating cannot write, and once someone are write fluent, like fluent, and they not jealousy of, but they think how to destroy and how to make those one as them like plain and normal and etc. I hardly believe that I could back to that state, but yeah, okay, I could not. Sorry. So from these things, from this, I hope that is clear. But you can using the fits tools to block my internet like LinkedIn and etc. but from my point of view, and I only need the handwriting notes, and I think it is always available before the examination and until the end of this next month. And so the PowerPoint is always available, and I can copy that in the paper form, and I can review that in the papier. And so I don't really think that if it is digitalized, blocked in my computer, it will hinder my conscious of study. I don't think so. And so fine. What we'll do now is keep going and yeah, have more energy, want study, and etc. So okay, Daryl gonna open the live stream, kind of wait him a little bit and to see what is going on and etc. Um, um, recently I finally know some important thing, but yeah, let's just directly write. Yeah, okay, okay. So never buy the belt and don't feel guilt and just try to using current moment or next second over access over exceed the last seconds lost or pain. And so that's my source for this point. Yeah, okay, fine. And also, I was thinking one problem, like like how to couple, like how to make the couple between that, and like the student is to convert the for example convert the contents in the notes converge, but from professor side is to converge the notes uh, back to the content, or is that notes shouldn't have to be converted back to the notes? Or you think that the way of calculation about the notes could potentially consisted from their writing notes, for example? I don't know, and I really don't think that yeah, okay, it's a bit complicated. 不知道。行，那我们就 continue。 So guys, I found one interesting aspect. Um, Here is strengthened up to isthmus and individual who benefit from community's gifts and gifted education is a description in research guide from Alex McBeth. And so I haven't think that is reason why it could link with him and might develop a sense of gratitude and caring about others. So in the student dormitory that time and he's really do a lot of things for others, for example. And but I really don't understand why they're saying communities gives gifted education and why is why this is relevant with communities. So communities, you guys know that if you guys in a channel and they have the communities and you can post the buy trigger of community and you can um, using community buy trigger and etc. Okay, I guess I fall asleep. I thought I was a little bit tired. And so there are a lot of things to think of. And for example, we just go quick stroll, and so we don't copy every word down because we don't have much time. And so in that sense, we just do it fast. So one thing I really interested about like communities gives like kind of sexuality gifts and gifted education and means one versus multiple and I was also to a question because that is so afterwards I write in my bachelor thesis about multi-dimensional poverty indexation and those kind of topic. You're gonna converge and combine or connected multiple dimensions together, and you want to find the most optimal point within this kind of converged dimension. And this kind of that kind of dimensions does not need to be necessarily that some dimensions like ghost dimension that you cannot observe, and you must have the psychic ability in order to see that. It's not that way, and this kind of dimension could also be just like different objectives that they bring a little bit energy field, like airy rise, medium around them, and um, then to combine those kind of products, foods, and together, and whether to say their qi and energy field was align each other or not. So it could also like you place something right in the room and you feel like not like my this kind of my god my this kind of all messes but the problem is that you find the optimum point and to see the energy field surrounding this kind of like food for example and the food they have the grow they have the growth and they have the 香味 and you see the food and to combine them and place them in the correct position and this also kind of like dimensional combination in so different physical substances. So I really don't think that you need to find some ghosty dimension like you need to dive deep into some dream state in order to perceive that you don't have to. And the things is not very much difficult than which I could think of like different dimensions like gender, age, and the income already the three-dimensional spaces we could convert them together and like the 3D dimensions and you add one factor like time, like four-dimensional indicators, and you find the optimal point within these spaces and kind of kind of, yeah, it's upon my understanding. And then why here they are saying, I surprisingly found that I expect us support this content, otherwise they're gonna not say gifts. But the whole semester, like last semester, I haven't since any I expect us conscious around, and so yeah, so it may develop a sense of gratitude and caring about others. So you need yeah, do things for others, and without considering yourself. And that's the rules, basic rules, which when you, for example, like involved into the further studies in the etc. And other occurrence to a norm of cooperation, adoption of values of honesty in order to strengthen all self-esteem. So you need to be honest and don't lie. And interpersonal. Okay, so friendship, marriage. Today I got a conversation with my family member in Italy. So my family member told me my family members saying they are saying um, that my cousin gonna get married, and I do not believe in this kind of content because I really don't think my cousin gonna recent got married and get married, but absolutely in the things like the issue Chinese and LIA, she could please just don't touch this content, and because that is the faculty's course and it's not the institute content. You don't need help me, and once you are stop using my energy and you don't need to do others favor. As your institute professor said, just stop saying that. And as I said to you, and please also stop receive the kind of infiltrating free content from my blackboard, for example, because you are the institute Chinese, you have not access to this content absolutely. And you can using the mechanisms to exclude those people who does not necessarily have this kind of content. But I feel like today in this last semester classmate from JFK Institute, she is so struggle in using my private conversation, me and my ma, and they are embedded into my chat conversation through me and my mom and my I don't really want to exposure our private conversation and in the family level. And so my mom and has said a lot of angry words and etc. And finally I was okay, today you're gonna finish this kind of PowerPoint, but you're gonna know that this kind of the pre-8 by last semester, JFK's one female students from China. Uh, that's really disgusting. And if your institute professor saying stop saying anything like stop thinking and just stop have a conscious and just follow my conscious, and I said everything and I defined everything, I determine everyone, you're gonna stop and just stop to explain our JFK class, right? So in this sense, I pursue as well LIA and please just stop receive my content. And so I don't really think this course was engaged in JFK Institute. And she is master student, so in this sense, I can easily excluded this one, LIA, who shares the two, at least two characters with my family members. And so, yeah. And yeah, let's go and continue the content of study. The PowerPoint goes to next one, and next page is about conditions for solving the cooperation problem in a common ownership economy. And so the problematic about common ownership was not new. The whole chapter was solving this, and so the cooperation problem and etc. we in the faculty we have the coordinator, and but I really don't think that this kind of thing relevant to the coordinator. And so I also don't think there are some corporations problem. But last year, since November, I start to separating with Alex McClub. I feel like very unsafe. But this situation gonna be getting better, and if we kind of recently get rid of that same name characterized student apartment, and we finally move to some here, the next Vuno and next place. The situation gonna getting better, and the kind of conscious can all not free, but the most conscious could be free, and if it is harmless, right? So yeah. So in this sense, I really don't like that apartment, but I need tolerate in order to quick so organize things in etc. Yeah. So let's just continue read this PowerPoint content. His stationery today in William Hill already be removed. Crypto. Okay, I won't search for this word. I will explain it by my understanding and to say this kind of word combination of words and what that means for me. And so I won't search for that. That is too energy costly. And so anarchist. Um, Kropotkin, and we just bought the pot from the table, and that is with the Lu. It feels like tested like a cryptocurrency scheme is that Alice McLaughlin, and we separated the market, and I promised that I bought this and that, and he promised he bought that and that. And George is interlink, so to say, and if I could. And the the very interesting one is that because in that time when we divided the market and the it's not little, it's like when we divided to purchase the different currencies in as we promised, and is that in that time that the Alex Makeup already graduated from the bachelor studies and studies, and then he promised to sell his bachelor degree, and so he always buy and sell the Bitcoin because he already have the BC, so the BSC, and so I never bought, never trade BIC because I haven't have that yet, and so that always set to in my private energy, and so that I promise not to buy the Bitcoin until I finish my bachelor study, and so so it is, and then he promised to buy the Montenegro and by the Monero, and Monero is consisted with the Montenegro, and it is because that once he went to the Grunewald in the near area of Sweden or the Switzerland, I'm not sure, and then finally in one mountain that called Montenegro and has he climbed in some high points and etc. And I don't know whether it is dangerous or not, but until 2023, and we are in a well cooperative relationship. But afterwards, things wrong, and I finally found, I finally found he got one similar like from EY and from some accounting top 4 accounting companies, and they are saying like they could promise give the same one to Alexander, and that one exactly looks the same as me, and like a copy one um, who shares with the same conscious and mind pattern and etc. So I feel like cool. Then you don't need me since that year. Like I missed the mission from university and I got back to the bachelor study and finished one course and write one seminar arbeit and to do the things like maximize it to my satisfied level. And I did that well, but the university haven't transferred that yet. And but it doesn't mean that they will not transfer if the module completed. And so that I was thinking this way, cool. And Monero is one of the cryptocurrencies he promised to buy, and the Litecoin as well. And so I promised not to buy Litecoin at least. I buy the 127 like Pancake Swap, and I bought by the Compound because Compound is one of the it YouTuber from Korea, and etc. And KFC and etc. So recent now until now I still keep these rules like we separated the cryptocurrency market and which I should buy and which he should buy, and so that kind of correlation I don't know whether that concept good, but since I enrolled first time into the program and that after one semester, two semester, and the semesters they already to give Alex McLeod some incentivize and to let him to betray the the cooperative relationship with me, so to say. And so I kind of recently from last year, since I moved to that student apartment and be cut the relationship by him, so that I haven't got really the near connection with him. Also because recently I haven't saved some small animals and etc. Those kind of things. And they he said, okay, when you want to back to previous state, and then it's fine. And but we're gonna not continue in the sense that you're gonna not hold some core value, for example. So let's continue and cryptocurrency that they have the voluntary associations and necessities and luxuries. And so if I could think association, I think it's Handelskammer and devoted to the production and consumption for given luxury, like given could only be like a mark, that mark in the luxury brand only have one, like given CHY, and a voluntary association is organized as a small-scale common ownership economy with free entry. As they open a big door, and I close it, and I opened with my key because I don't want to somehow converge. And afterwards, the Guxiao restaurant was run into the living room, and so I think cool that I better not to open with my key and instead of just enter into what that is open. So fine. Then creation of such associations, association is 联会, and you can play chess in that association if you enter into some subconscious state, and you can also think that is kind of like Handelskammer, like for the industry people to unite. For example, there's 工会, and it is like the people who getting together and fight the rights for the workers and employees if they have some problem and etc. Each companies they have this kind of organization and associations to revealing information. And so, from my point of view, given product or service like 合唱, like call, and and given product, I guess is chess. I do think that is chess and call, so 合唱. And then shortcomings, some not lack of specialization and technical processes. Today I saw the Uber technologies, and because so many luxuries like some expensive shoes, and which incentivize to invest in specialized skills. I really don't think the luxury goods could be bring you some specialized skills. Most skills developed by some cheap products, and because so in this sense, I really I am not so agree with this kind of point because from my point of view, like some craftsman and etc. Always because to develop the skill and in order to let skill to show about their existent physical goods, and so that I really have to think that the the luxury goods could enable them, voice versa. So on the against in the opposite. And inefficient vertical integration is that they will build a pencil case. They are to make intermediate meditation. I don't know, but recently I was interested to Alex Makeup. I don't know why, and I think they have better ones. So I really don't know why. I don't I think I kind of know that is not Combi, but I don't know who. But it's also not double D. It's not also not Daniel, and so that I hardly know. But he is much better than Alex Makeup, and so I feel like I lost interest to the Russian and and etc. So fine. How should competing claims on scarcity land and the natural resources be settled? Settled is family and relationship and competing claims on scarcity land. I really don't think land Wirtschaft or land is a scarcity because land as the uh, third industry branch that they have a sufficient amount of that in Rusland and but not in Germany, so to say. And competing claims like when you do the some audit jobs in the etc. Your client gonna claim like against your opinion, and but the competing claims I could hardly believe and that they could bring this kind of sentence here because competing claims the different customers competing claims and who has the higher voice than others and who buy the things which is incorrect. I hardly believe that. And usually, from my point of view, that each customer should one versus one individual individual toil, so to say. And so, competing claims could I have them in this state. But on scarcity land and the natural resources can be settled. And this is very difficult to understand. How should competing claims on scarcity land and natural resources be settled? So you will never create family. For example, Alex Najab has the competitors Combi and scarcity land and Combi and Gamino. I don't know like who cares, but if they climbing competitively, and so land is not scarcity also in Rusland, and natural resources is sufficient also in Germany. You will also, although that Germany is not very big land. So how could that be settled in if you not limiting the natural resources and the scarcity land, and so that's gonna be a problem. And so ineffective division of labor and mm, conflict conflicts is that double flats. It's like the yeah, migration of economy into a myriad of autarkic subgroups similar to And the conclusion is that the common ownership system might solve the cooperation. I don't really think the Combi is a competitor towards AliExpress, but AliExpress does have a lot of like we said that in BL2 platform they have the uh, Russian Chinese one, for example, and the cooperation test. Yeah. So that could be the assessment in some Deutsche Börse and etc. And but it definitely fails to pass the location test. So as a sowieso because I decided not to do because that is dangerous and difficult. To be continued mass claimed that a centrally planned economy could attain a rational allocation of resources and about without need of private property and markets. Without always living under the company controls flat for example, and there's also a choice. Okay, we're done with this chapter, and you haven't read that, but let's close it, and we're gonna see each other in next study live stream. I don't know when, but I try to tomorrow to go back to the student apartment and to clean and tell them the new point, tell them to fill in by a new timing. Don't want to convert too many things and just relax. Okay for that. So we're gonna see each other in next day stream and keep in touch and about my YouTube channel and in some certain time point. Okay, so we're gonna see each other in next